Join us to talk about the Fast and Furious hearings in the House Oversight Committee. Bob Owens from Pajamas Media is with us. Bob, thank you, sir, for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks for having me, Cam.
You bet. So you had a chance to watch the hearings earlier today?
Didn't get a chance to watch them live. I did see some of them on YouTube and some of the replay work, and I was absolutely stunned at some of the things that I saw.
What was the thing that made your jaw drop the most? I mean, there was a lot of information that came out today.
Take your pick. I mean, this whole thing is starting to sound like Iran-Contra Part 2, but worse.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. One of our listeners, Michael in Arkansas, just in a talkback and said, does this seem a bit like Iran-Contra, a program that was clearly against U.S. federal law, clearly was authorized by somebody or a group of higher-ups, but some had said it had good intentions, wound up resulting in a long investigation, a few selected indictments, but in the end, nothing came of it. I hope that that's not the case here because, already we know that this goes at least as far, knowledge of this goes at least as high up as the head of the acting head of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. In the emails that were released by Representative Issa today, we heard that Acting Director Melson wanted weekly briefings and was getting weekly briefings on this program, that he had asked for an IP address so that he could monitor surveillance feeds as part of the Fast and Furious program. Bob, I got to ask you, if the acting director of the ATF is aware of this, does it make sense to you that the only person in DOJ who was aware of this was the local assistant U.S. attorney in Phoenix?
Not at all. First off, I was kind of stunned to hear that Melson was so deeply involved in tracking this, down to the point that he was watching the individual surveillance cameras.
Mm-hmm.
That just blew me away. So if he's in it, then I've got to think that somebody up on Eric Holder has to be involved in this. It just does not make sense in any way, shape, or form that you would have this going on without Holder's knowledge.
Well, one of the things that, and it didn't come up in the hearing today, but in earlier reports, there are allegations that, I guess, last June, and so this would be after we know that Ken Melson has been made aware of Fast and Furious. There were reports that there was a meeting in Mexico City between the U.S. ambassador to Mexico and Assistant Attorney General Lanny Brewer, at which Fast and Furious may have come up. And again, these are some of the questions that are still outstanding. We've been talking about the Justice Department, but Representative Issa and Senator Grassley have made document requests to the State Department as well, wanting to know what the State Department knew about Fast and Furious. Because this is a huge scandal in Mexico. I think in Mexico this has actually received much more coverage to date than it has here in the U.S.
Well, it only goes to make sense. If you had 150 American citizens estimated killed by the actions of the federales, don't you think that would be the top story here?
Yeah, absolutely. So the hearing today, as revealing as it was, and it was incredibly revealing, there are still so many questions that are still left unanswered, Bob.
There are. The thing that is really starting to dig into the back of my mind, and I've seen several other bloggers and pundits make the connection, is, Obama has been extremely anti-gun his whole life. Dave Hardy did some work a year or so back and noted that, with the Joyce Foundation, he was part of an outfit that was trying to undermine the Second Amendment by basically bribing scholars to write, to host symposiums and write grants for various organizations to undermine the scholarship. If he's willing to go that far when he doesn't have power, this guy, I see every reason for Obama to try to use the ATF to increase the level of violence so he could justify pushing gun control.
And I know this is that's a motive that has been thrown out. And again, look, it's real simple. All we have to do is have the person who authorized this program, who developed this program, explain what the supposed objective was, because you had ATF agents testify today that they couldn't figure it out, and nobody ever told them what the end objective was going to be. That at least rang true to them. You had several agents testify that this went against law enforcement practices, and that they could come up with no conceivable reason why on earth you would allow laws to be broken, allow straw purchases to be made, and then just allow the guns to end up in the hands of the drug cartels. We don't have an explanation. So, of course, theories like this are going to pop up. And, I mean, Bob, Occam's razor says go for the simplest solution.
Exactly.
And an anti-gun president who doesn't like to let crises go to waste, coming up with a crisis to push for gun control. Look, I mean, clearly, Bob, right now we're seeing this. We're seeing that's what the gun control advocates, that's what the anti-gun members of Congress are saying now. They're saying at the hearing today, as a matter of fact, why aren't we talking about the additional gun control laws that we need? Why are we spending time talking about this law enforcement investigation when we really should be talking about the need for another gun ban?
Yeah, it is absolutely insane, and it is rather interesting that Feinstein, Schumer, and whoever the third guy was,
Sheldon Whitehouse.
No wonder I wanted to forget it. Came out with this, new version of the 90% lie, which you might as well call the 70% lie.
Yep.
Basically just trying to put Congressman Issa and the committee on their defensive. You cannot tell me that timing was a coincidence.
No, I don't think it was. As a matter of fact, I noted today as I was doing research for the show tonight, there was a story that came out yesterday, and that's when the news broke about this report that you were talking about, the myth of the 70%. But here's a headline: U.S. congressional report blames American firearms for Mexico violence. I mean, that was the headline that they wanted to get out, I think, ahead of these Fast and Furious hearings, to say, well, okay, look, this may be bad, but what's even worse are our gun laws.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I even noted, that some of the folks in the MSM that are pushing the story are even willing to kind of fudge things a little bit. One of the blogs at the Atlantic Journal-Constitution was trying to say this started in 2007. So, blame Bush.
Yeah. Oh, we heard Representative Elijah Cummings talk about how, these problems date back several administrations. So, yeah, look, they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this story, trying to make it go away, trying to change the narrative. And frankly, Bob, I don't know about you. Look, I mean, it's going to be tough to get the story told entirely accurately in the mainstream media, although finally we are starting to see some good coverage from even some MSM outlets like New York Times, Los Angeles Times, Wall Street Journal. But my biggest fear is that these folks who are so intent on shielding President Obama from any controversy or any scandal simply won't allow this story and won't allow this investigation to really be completed so that we know answers. They'll try to portray this as just a political ploy by Republicans. They'll try to say that this is distracting us from the need for more gun control laws. They'll try to say anything and everything that they can in order for the real answers to ever come out.
Well, they will, but as we've noticed with our favorite New York Representative Anthony Weiner lately, it doesn't really matter what the MSM wants to try to cover or cover up anymore.
Yeah.
If there's enough interest, the truth will out. People are going to sit here and push it, and if there's enough meat, the new media will be able to drive the story.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. Hey, Bob, thank you again, sir, for coming on the program. And I know that we're going to keep talking about Fast and Furious. I know you keep writing about it, so we'll talk to you again soon.